right smack dab in the middle of the week. It is Wednesday, 19th day of February, 2025. I'm Dan Kuntz. Thanks for starting today with us here on Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley. When I rolled out of bed this morning at 3 o'clock, I didn't roll out of bed. If I had, I would have fallen on the ground. When I got out of bed this morning at 3 o'clock, it was raining lightly in 35 degrees. An hour later, it was snowing lightly, and the temperature has begun to drop. We are now at 32 degrees, and it is snowing lightly here in the Wenatchee Valley, and it will snow lightly an inch, 2, maybe 3, depending on where exactly you live elevation-wise, until about noon today. It'll taper off, could get a little rain-snow mix at times as we warm up to the mid-30s. Winter weather advisory is still up and running. In fact, they extended it. It was supposed to expire at 4 o'clock this afternoon. It is going to expire at 4 o'clock this afternoon. It's supposed to expire at 10 this morning. They've extended it until 4 o'clock this afternoon. So we're going to get some snow. It's not going to be significant accumulations, except in the mountain passes. They're going to get hammered pretty good. And heads up for you folks out in the Moses Lake area, right about I-90 is going to be the demarcation line. There could be some freezing rain in your location in the Moses Lake area. You got some cold air trapped on the surface, warm air up above. You could see some freezing rain in the Moses Lake area. We're probably not going to see any. And then that's kind of it. And then the big time warm up begins in a significant way. We're going to see 50 degrees in the not too distant future. But we're not going to get to normal again today. This will be we've had 16 consecutive days of our temperature, high temperature each day, not getting to normal, oftentimes not even close. We'll be not there again today. Maybe tomorrow, we'll find out. Forecast details are coming up, but things are going to get a little active and pretty darn warm and very wet. We're in for a lot of rain this weekend. We got news, we got sports. The Eastmont Lady Wildcats move on to the District 5 4A tournament. They took care of business against Moses Lake. Highlights of that. Eastmont boys, no such luck. All the high school basketball scores from yesterday as they get ready. The Selection Sunday is Sunday. That's when all the teams who have made the state playoffs will be seeded by the WIAA, so there's a lot going on there. And at the back half of the program, it is a special program coming to the Wenatchee Valley for you folks with Parkinson's disease. It is a dance class being put on by somebody who knows what she's doing. Pam Kuntz. Yes, we're related. She's bringing her Dance for Parkinson's class to the Wenatchee Racquet Athletic Club on Saturday, March 1st. This is a very important conversation. You don't want to miss it. It's good stuff. Pam will be joining me in the back half of the program. 2 slides to show for you from the National Weather Service. As far as snow in the Wenatchee Valley, 3 to 4 inches in the upper elevations. I think here on the valley floor where we are downtown, pretty close to the river, more like a couple of inches, and it's not going to come down heavily. It's snowing lightly now, and it's going to snow lightly, but it's going to snow most of the morning into the early afternoon hours. Again, out there in Moses Lake, between Moses Lake and Ritzville, you're not going to get very little snow, but you could get some freezing rain, some pockets of freezing rain. As you can see, lots of snow in the mountain passes. Not too bad on I-90. Snoqualmie Pass is going to be fairly transversable, if that's even a word. But Stevens is going to get a lot. Stevens can get about a foot of snow as this system rolls through. Everybody's going to get some kind of precipitation for the most part today in our viewing area. And then temperatures are going to warm up big time, and the snow becomes rain, and that means we could have some big-time snow melt. So here's another slide from the National Weather Service. We're going to get very warm and very wet coming up this weekend. It's going to rain Friday night. It's going to rain Saturday. It's going to rain Saturday night. It's probably going to rain on Sunday. It has a good chance of raining Sunday night and Monday. Temperatures will be pushing 50 degrees, and so that means if you got a drain or a gutter around your house, you might want to make sure it can take the massive amount of rain and snow melt that's going to be coming our way. Obviously, area streams are going to be swelling up a little bit as well, so get ready for some warm and wet and some breezy conditions as well once we get into the weekend. But we still have to deal with the next couple of days, specifically today. Again, the winter weather advisory runs until 4 this afternoon. Yesterday's high was 36, again below normal. From the National Weather Service, that way if you don't like the weather, you can blame the federal government. Snow this morning, at times mixed with rain as we get deeper into the day, and then by about noon we should be done with the precipitation for the most part. We'll top off at about 35 degrees. Again, here in the Wenatchee Valley on the lower elevations, 1.5 inches to 2 inches of snow. You live up in the upper elevations, you could get upwards of 4 inches of snow. It ain't going to last very long. The snow is done by, again, noon or 1, and then that's it. We dry out. 30 for the overnight low tonight. The snow level is going to be at 2,100 feet tonight, by the way. Sunshine Thursday, and here comes the snow melt with a high of 43, so whatever we get, it's not going to last very long. Cloudy on Friday, but dry at the high of 40 degrees, and then we start talking about some rain. On Friday night, the snow level is going to be at 4,000 feet, even though there's no real storm out there. 31 for the overnight low. Saturday, rain, and quite a bit of it, and a high of 43. Saturday night, rain. 36 for the overnight low. Sunday, rain, almost 50 for the afternoon high. Sunday night, rain, 37 for the overnight low. Sun breaks, we hope, on Monday with a high near 49 and 50 degrees. Our forecast high on Tuesday. Here comes the warm weather, but we got to get one more day of this stuff, all right? After a quick 2-minute break, what's making news? Well, I'll let you know. I get paid big bucks to do exactly that. You're watching a Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
The family at the Epladolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Epladolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epladolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epladolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour.
Craving fresh Asian comfort food? Steam Panda is Wenatchee's popular family-friendly Asian restaurant. They focus on providing guests with delicious, healthy, fresh, and natural dishes for an affordable price. Warm up with one of their many popular house-made soup dumplings, ramen noodles, or pho dishes. And make sure to ask about their lunch and chef specials on sushi rolls. Steam Panda's Hawaiian poke bowl and salads are excellent with your favorite boba tea. Stop by or order online at Steam Panda today.
Caught in a conflict? Family, workplace, neighbor, business, housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
It's been snowing lightly here in the Wenatchee Valley for about the last 2.5 hours. It'll snow lightly until about noon today with a little rain-snow mix possible. The snow will start its melting process in earnest on Thursday. We're in for a very warm and wet weekend coming our way. It's 9 minutes after the hour. Nearly 40 employees of the Okanagan and Wenatchee National Forest lost their jobs last week, alongside thousands of other federal workers across the country. According to Politico, 3,400 employees of the United States Forest Service were laid off beginning February 13th in the first round of layoffs that targeted probationary employees. On Monday, as you know by now, hundreds gathered at Memorial Park in what became a joint protest against Trump administration policies and in support of federal workers. Suzanne Cable is a retired program manager for the Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest. She attended the protest and she told us what the potential impacts are of the layoffs.
I would like people to understand about the situation we're seeing is that it's a method of reducing workforce that just has no strategy. It's cuts that are being made, people that are being fired based on if they're in a type of employment where it's easiest to do. To remove people that have been in probationary status, which is new to the agency, employed for roughly 1 year or less in most situations. This is the next generation of land stewards. These are the people that are at the beginning of their career, that are choosing public service and are dedicated to a public need, and they're the ones that are being targeted this first round. And that's just going to have repercussions for the future of the functioning of our federal government, the future for the function of the Forest Service. And rather than encouraging people to believe in and want to join in the value of public service, it's nothing but it's discouraging that. The folks that felt the pain of being fired this past week are the ones that are really doing on-the-ground field work. That's so important to the recreation economy here in Central Washington, and so important for the people that love and visit our national forests to have a good time while they're out there, to be able to hike the trails, to be able to have a clean toilet, to feel safe, and to learn about the incredible wild places that we've got here and that they're so fortunate to be able to visit.
Owen Wickenheiser, a ranger in the enchantments until he and almost all of his crew were laid off on Valentine's Day, spoke about his concerns about where he used to work.
We fly out around 10,000 pounds of human waste every year. And if there are no rangers to help do that, there will be really big human health hazards. A lot of that waste just drains into the lake if it's left unattended. It's not soil that will decompose human waste because it's above the tree line in some sections. We put out a lot of fires up there. You're not allowed to have fires at Kolchak Lake and above in the enchantments. People still try, and we still have to put them out. Really worried about that area getting burned. It's a natural resource that people love and respect, and a lot of education needs to happen to allow these visitors to have the tools for success up there. People come from all over the country and the nation to camp up there. It's a lottery system, and we're required to provide amenities for those people to camp up there, and those amenities will not be taken care of.
Construction for Phase 1 of the Confluence Parkway project will begin next month. The first phase of the project will include a couple of new bridges across the Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad tracks, a new roundabout intersection at North Miller and Holly, a new singled intersection at Maple Street, and many more improvements. Though the work is set to begin in March, North Miller between Maple and Walla Walla Avenue will not close for construction until about June. Phase 1 of the project is scheduled to cost about $88 million. It's due to be completed and open to the public in late 2027. The city has secured more than $177 million for the entire project, which will provide a bypass for North Wenatchee Avenue, including a second bridge across the Wenatchee River into Old Station. Chelan County Commissioners will host a series of discussions within each of their districts that they represent. The community-led meetings will be held the first week in March, and that's where county directors who represent community development, Chelan County Public Works, Natural Resources, Economic Services, and the Regional Justice Center, they'll all be on hand. Each meeting will be held from 6 to 7:30, and Spanish interpreting services will be available. Commissioner Kevin Overbay will host the District 1 event. That'll be on Tuesday, March 4th at Mission View Elementary School. Commissioner Brad Hawkins will host the District 3 meeting. That'll be Wednesday, March 5th at the Chelan Fire and Rescue Building in Chelan. And Commissioner Sean Smith will host the District 2 discussion. That'll be on Thursday, March 6th at the Leavenworth Fire Hall. The public is encouraged to attend. Bring your questions or concerns you would like to be addressed directly by the County Commissioner or Department Director. Sadie wants to bring the state's inmates closer to their government. A Spokane Valley legislature has proposed that a vacant building on the Capitol campus be used as a transitional facility for adult and juvenile offenders. Senator Leonard Christian's bill returned the former General Administration building into a transitional facility. It's been referred to the Senate Human Services Committee. No hearing has yet been scheduled. The building is supposed to be torn down later on this year. Christian said the Democrat-controlled legislature has too often come down on the side of criminal offenders with the bills that they've passed, and his bill would give them the close contact with the criminal population that they deserve.
It seems like this whole year has been about release criminals into the community. Let's use that empty vacant building that's just costing the taxpayers money, flip it around and turn it into a community release where the folks can be right here.
Sasha Slayman has made housing her mission for years, first as a member of the East Wenatchee City Council and, of course, her role with Chelan County as the housing coordinator. She is now the director of the Housing Authority, working both for the city of Wenatchee and Chelan County. Sasha Slayman is going to be honored tomorrow night at the Red Lion Hotel with the Community Impact Award, and we asked her what drew her into the world of housing advocacy.
Housing is a basic need. You know, we all need a roof over our heads, a place to shower, a place to lay our heads at night. And when I moved home at the end of 2018, early 2019, I had been living in New York where housing is a huge issue. Very hard to find a place to live that's remotely affordable. You have to live with a lot of people. And I was shocked when I got back, and I couldn't afford an apartment on my own. Whether you're have a fixed income because you're on Social Security or whether you're working full time, it's hard to make ends meet. And so I started looking at that and kind of paying attention to it and realized this is something I want to be involved in and really make a dent in. I'm the executive director for the Housing Authority of Chelan County and City of Wenatchee. And in that position, I oversee a team of 33 plus me, so 34 people across 23 properties across both Chelan and Douglas County. We have the Housing Choice Voucher Program, which colloquially known as the Section 8 voucher program, so rental assistance to landlords to help keep assisted or rent lower for folks. The HUD-VASH program, which is a rental assistance program for veterans, and then the FSS program, which is kind of like a savings account for folks who are on Section 8 programs, and it's a really great way to help people save some of their money that's extra after their rent and then put that back for them to use later. For as long as I can remember, I've always been interested in politics, policy. I think when you're a teenager, you don't think of it as policy, but my dad is an immigrant from Lebanon, so government is very different there, and so I've always had this interest in this. I, in high school, got the opportunity to shadow Senator Parlett and over in Olympia, and that turned me on to just how policy is made, why it's so important to be involved, why it's important to vote, and showed me that policymaking's quite local. When I was first thinking about what to do, that's where I saw the best ability to help people. Obviously, there are probably better ways to help people, like being an actual social worker or being a doctor or anything else. But on a larger scale, like people don't love politics, but there's politics in everything. You need policies to change, to be structured, to help better your community. So on a larger scale, I felt like that's kind of what I could do. Quite a few goals now that I'm at the Housing Authority, and it's such an amazing agency that does so much. So what can we do going forward to be a better resource for folks? So working on getting started on some strategic planning at the agency, growing as a leader. This is a really big role for me. I've done a fair amount of managing throughout my career, but this is a big one. So learning the job, learning the ins and outs of everything that the Housing Authority does probably is the next big thing.
And again, the Community Impact Awards hosted by the Wenatchee World tomorrow night at the Red Lion Hotel, and tickets are still available. And that's the news on this Wednesday. If you're interested to know what's going on around here, we have a little program. Maybe we should call it What the Heck's Going On Around Here, but we don't. We call it the NCWLIFE Evening News, and it comes your way at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. 5, 6, and 10 on television. We also have it up and running via the World Wide Web. So if you can't just have that appointment television at 5, 6, or 10, you can watch it anytime you want, starting at about 5 o'clock. That's when we post it on our Facebook page, our YouTube page, and our homepage, NCWLIFE.com. We have the app. You can download it by doing the old QR that you see right there. And if something out there is worthy of our attention, if you think so, don't hesitate. Send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. It's sunny and warm in Arizona, and by golly, that's where the Mariners are. Sports in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
When you buy tires at Les Schwab, you're getting more than just tires. You're getting America's best tire warranty, 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. So if something happens to your tire on the road, we'll fix it, or we'll replace it, no questions asked. Other places make you pay extra for that kind of protection, but at Les Schwab, it's included with every set of tires, because more warranty means less worry, and nobody stands by their tires like Les Schwab. Get more from Les.
This March, Lake Chelan welcomes food and wine lovers to an unforgettable experience. Taste Chelan. 16 of the Valley's top wineries and restaurants create the perfect pairing of fine wines and Epicurean delights. With 4 unique winery tracks and 5 weekends to explore, every visit offers something fresh and exciting. From your first sip to the last bite, every moment is a delicious adventure, so don't wait. Tickets are selling fast. Visit tastechelan.com today.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect, no matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Sports at 22 minutes after the hour. Baseball, it is back. The Mariners had their first full squad workout Monday in Peoria, Arizona at their spring training facilities. Of course, pitchers and catchers, they reported last week, and they've been working out all weekend. Position players reported on Monday, so the whole squad is there. Manager Dan Wilson says the message to the full squad on Monday morning is going to be the same right up until opening day.
You know, we've done a lot of work as a coaching staff in the off season, and you know, I think we've got a lot of things that we want to say, and you know, getting in front of the group and delivering that message. And then it's not always just about the message that you give, but it's more about the little messages that continue and get sustained throughout all of spring training. So you know, we're all on the same page, and we're looking you know, to be ready. You know, like we mentioned on March 27th. Guys being not having you know, to still get ramped up from spring training. We're going to be ramped up and we're going to be ready to play, and we're going to start strong on the 27th.
Manager Logan Gilbert, I should say, is coming off a 9-12 All-Star season last year. He says the workouts under manager Dan Wilson so far have been pretty good.
It's been fun. It's been good so far. Just good to be back. I mean, obviously having Dan at the helm this year, having his first spring training, that's been different. It's been good. And just seeing how he wants to do things and putting his own spin on things, and just all the pitchers getting back together, it's been fun. I think he's settling in good. Everybody loves Dan and knows Dan, but I think just getting to know him on a personal level, some of the people that maybe didn't work with him in the past, just getting to know him, his leadership style, what he's expecting out of us, I think that's a big part of spring training.
Wilson says the quality of the pitching staff up and down the lineup is so good in part because of the examples set by Logan Gilbert.
You don't talk about Logan without talking about his work ethic and what he brings, you know, in terms of his preparation, and has really helped him to really excel over the last couple of years. Took a huge step forward, getting over 200 innings last year. All-star season for him. He's really become a leader amongst that pitching staff, and what he continues to do is get better, and he continues to work at it, and there is no quit in him. And you know, he is here. He's getting ready. He's preparing. You know, I think in some ways he does what he did before, but he's not afraid to make changes and adjustments, and he's always just working and making his craft better. He's a great person, a great leader, and you know, a good guy to have to lead that pitching staff.
Gilbert pitched over 200 innings last year. He had over 220 strikeouts. He says the biggest thing he wants to improve upon this season is his consistency.
It's always consistency. It's kind of a boring answer, but at this level, at the highest level, it's the greatest in the game do it every single time they go out there. And I felt good about my year individually, the whole staff, but a lot of times in a season you have 33 starts, you might have 2 or 3 you wish you could get back. And you look at guys like Scooble and Sale and those guys, they pretty much do it every single time they went out. So I think that's the little bit of the separator there.
As far as their battery mates, the guys behind the plate, Dan Wilson says once again, Mitch Garver and Cal Raleigh are going to do the job.
Cal is a guy that has, taken a big part of the load here over the last couple of years, especially last year. And it'll be a matter of helping him manage that to some degree. And Garv, again, bringing that veteran presence. He's been around. He does such a great job with our pitching staff, and the two of them complement each other so well. So we're pretty fortunate to have the pitching that we have, but I think we're also very fortunate to have the battery mates that we have in Cal and Garv, and I'm looking forward for those guys to continue to help this pitching staff become as good as they are.
Mariners start playing games that don't count on Friday, opening day, and games that do count against the Athletics on March 27th. 3 college basketball games on the schedule of note tonight. Washington State will host Gonzaga in men's basketball, 6 o'clock on ESPN2. At 7:30, it's the Huskies and Rutgers on the Big Ten Network. Women's basketball tonight, TCU and Haley Van Lith are back up to number 10 in this week's women's college basketball poll. They'll hit the road tonight. They'll be at Arizona State 5:30 on ESPN+. Eastmont proved a little too much for Moses Lake in a girls playing basketball game last night. Wildcats jumped out to a big lead and never looked back. 60-31 the final. Grant Olson had the call on the NCWLIFE channel.
And here we go. Eastmont controls the tip. It's Bella Otterstetter to Ashlyn McGinnis. She will run the show for the Wildcats. Hands it off to Noli Johnson. Fumbles that one. Picked up by Hines as Eastmont running a bit of a wheel right now. Pilkington left open off the backboard. No good. Rebound, though, to Otterstetter. Little right-handed hook layup, and it's good. And Eastmont on the board first. But we haven't seen that yet tonight. We still might before it's over. Here's Char down low. Nice shot up and in. Gracie Cast. McGinnis, another crossover dribble underneath Pilkington, up and in. Taking tough shots. Free throw line, Pilkington, it's good. To Addison Burns. Clark now is going to take a 3, no good. Rebound underneath Abby Gale. Outlet to Ashlyn McGinnis. Nice bounce pass down low. There's Pilkington again, it's good. Hines with her 4th point of the game. Bond now kicks it outside to Throneberry for 3. Good. Now comes left side Bond into the lane. Kicks it back out. There's Bischoff. She puts up the shot for 3. It's good. Otterstetter hands it to Johnson. Once again running a kind of a wheel offense. And Hines all the way to the basket. Good. As we have just under 4 minutes left to go before halftime. McGinnis the steal. Ashlyn all the way down court. Right hand layup. Good. Hands it off McGinnis in the lane. Kicks it out baseline. Otterstetter the open shot. No good. Rebound is run down by Cass. She's double teamed. Loses it. McGinnis up and in. Look what I found for Ashlyn McGinnis. She's got 10. Wanted the shot. Couldn't get it. Now to Char. She gets it down low, and once again a turnover. Noli Johnson. McGinnis the layup. Good. 5 seconds. I'm not sure the Eastmont's aware of the clock. Pilkington has it. She's forced to put one up, and it's good. Just going to hold on to it, and that will do it. Our final score here from Eastmont High School, District 5 play-in game. Eastmont 60, Moses Lake 31.
So Eastmont advances. They'll take on Ike in the first round of the district tournament Thursday at 6 o'clock at home. The Cadets ended Sunnyside season last night. Davis will host West Valley, by the way, for the championship tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. The Eastmont boys, their season's done. Moses Lake took care of the Wildcats in a big way. The final score there in boys basketball, 81-55. Moses Lake will host Eisenhower after the Cadets knocked off Sunnyside 66-58. In boys basketball, West Valley will host Davis for the district championship Thursday night. In the girls 1A, Cascade and Chelan face elimination Thursday. Both lost last night. In the 1A tournament, the Kodiaks fell to Wapato. The Goats lost to Natchez Valley. Chelan will host Cascade in a loser-out game. That'll be interesting. That'll be tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Wapato will play at Natchez Valley. The winner goes to state. The loser goes to a crossover elimination game. The Cashmere and Chelan boys took one step closer to the state 1A tournament with wins last night at district. Bulldogs beat Keona Benton 85-63. The Goats topped Wapato 70-56. That puts Cashmere at Chelan Thursday at 7:30 for a winner to state, loser to crossover game. Chi B visits Wapato in a loser-out game. And as the high school basketball season winds down, Bighorns basketball fires up. They had tryouts last week at Wenatchee Valley College. This Sunday you can meet the Bighorns. The community is invited to get autographs, take photos, all that good stuff. There'll also be a scrimmage and a slam dunk competition at the gym at Wenatchee Valley College. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. The obscure holiday today is all about your eyelashes. It's National Eyelash Day today. Yeah, anytime we can do something about the human body, I'm all for that. You know, you start growing eyelashes before you're even born. You're born with eyelashes. Only mammals have eyelashes. Eyelashes, of course, serve a purpose. They keep our eyes clean from dirt and germs and foreign objects. And how does your eyelashes stay clean? Mites. There are tiny itty-bitty mites that live on your eyelashes. They're called Demodex, and they help keep your eyelashes clean. By the way, your eyelashes will thin out as you get older. The average eyelash length is about 1/3 of an inch, but the longest eyelashes ever measured were 4 inches long. In China, I don't know how they do that. Happy National Eyelash Day today. I was scraping the bottom of the barrel for my obscure holiday. 32 minutes after the hour today in history, the greatest patent in the history of this country. Patent number 200521, the phonograph. February 19th, 1878, Thomas Edison patents the phonograph, the greatest invention mankind has ever come up with. Thank you, Tom. 83 years ago, in the early part of our involvement in World War II, FDR signs Executive Order 9066, allowing the United States military to relocate Japanese Americans on the West Coast to internment camps. About 70,000 American citizens of Japanese descent were incarcerated. Yeah, by the way, no Japanese American ever, no Japanese American citizen or Japanese national living in the United States was ever found guilty of sabotage or espionage. Not one of our better moments. But Gerald Ford fixed that on this date in 1976. 37 years after it was implemented, Gerald Ford signs Proclamation 4417, which rescinded Executive Order 9066. And 45 years ago today, the Washington Capitals, who joined the NHL as an expansion team in 1974, had played the Montreal Canadiens 34 times, had lost 34 times. On this date in 1980, they beat Montreal in our nation's capital 3-1. Congratulations to the Capitals. Birthdays. Got some heavenly birthdays for you. Nicholas Copernicus. He was a lawyer, mathematician, astronomer, physician, translator. He wasn't the first person to think that maybe the sun was the center of the universe and not the earth, but he was the first one who actually proved that the sun was the center of the universe and not the earth. Pretty smart guy. Born in the state in 1473. Lee Marvin, the legendary actor, won an Academy Award in Cat Ballou. The man who shot Liberty Valance, The Wild One, The Dirty Dozen, Paint Your Wagon, Lee Marvin, born in the state 101 years ago today. My, oh my, we miss Dave Niehaus, don't we? The voice of the Mariners. Can't believe he's been gone for 15 years. Get out the rye bread and mustard, Grandma. It's grand salami time. Dave Niehaus, born in the state 1935. And Bob Dylan called Smokey Robinson America's greatest living poet. And if Bob says so, it has to be true. The legendary Smokey Robinson listened to some miracles last night. He's 85 years old today. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. They are our platinum sponsor, and we love them for it. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Mike Mignotti has gone to the opinion, and then there's a class coming up on Saturday, March 1st. If you're suffering from Parkinson's disease, you can't move very well. Pam Kuntz might be able to help you out along those lines. That conversation when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
Make your home your winter escape with Boswell's. Right now, save 10% on all qualifying recliners and ottomans, sofas, and home office chairs. Or save $400 on any motorized stressless power recliner. Plus, save $200 on 4 stressless dining chairs designed to follow your body's every movement. Shop Boswell's, 2915 Easy Street in Wenatchee.
Hey there, folks. Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to Blueberry Hills to experience some real treats. Take a look at our homemade cream pies, our amazing cheesecakes, and don't forget our famous banana pudding. Remember, we're more than just great treats. People come from all over the world to experience what has been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
When you've been in business for 40 years, it's because you understand change and you put members first, always. Now Works is announcing a change in their membership model. Up to 6 people on one membership that you can mix and match. The more people, the bigger the discounts. Introducing the Works shared membership model. One membership, friends and family and flexibility. Works, the cleanest, friendliest, most helpful gyms you and your friends will ever join.
Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, a client once asked me how to work on their self-esteem without relying on platitudes such as, I am somebody, etc. You know, I said that one of the ways to look at your self-esteem is to assess my value and consider how I'm seen and valued by others. Now, I may often feel like I'm letting people down, letting some of the people who are closest to me down, but when in fact, these folks see me as someone who's very important to them. Now, for example, I have 3 good close friends I've had since high school who are intelligent, well-read, interesting guys. And I sometimes wonder, why the heck are they friends with me? Though, if you ask them, though, they'd probably tell you that I'm one of the few people in their lives they can count on 100% of the time. Someone whose friendship is a real blessing to their lives. Now, I may not always feel that way, but hey, like I said, these are intelligent men, so hey, who am I to argue with them? This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
It's the NCWLIFE Community Calendar, a presentation of Apple Valley Honda. The Special Olympics Washington Winter Games returns to the Wenatchee Valley for the 35th year, the weekend of February 28th. 900 volunteers are needed to assist more than 1,200 participants and coaches throughout its 3-day run. From assisting on the slopes of Mission Ridge to keeping score of basketball games, no special skill is required. To volunteer, please visit the website on the screen.
Bob's Classic Restaurant and Distillery, established in 1987, where we concentrate on what we do best, creating excellent food, exciting drinks, great customer service, and an imaginative atmosphere to craft an excellent dining experience for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Shareable or not, that's up to you. Bob's Classic dishes are handcrafted and full of flavor. Enjoy the experience at Bob's Classic with your family and friends today.
Your piece of land demands the very best equipment. Kubota equipment. The #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. with professional grade mowers, versatile sidekick utility vehicles, and compact tractors that get it done right. All backed by unmatched dealer support. Talk to your dealer today to schedule a demo.
In my continuing efforts to get every member of the Kuntz family to appear on this program at least once, I've worked my way now to in-laws. Pamela is joining me. She is happily married to her dreamboat of a husband, Mark. Full disclosure, he happens to be my brother, and he has a milestone birthday coming up. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Pam is going to bring her talents and her passion, which is dance, right here to the Wenatchee Valley on Saturday, March 1st. But it's a special kind of dance for people who need to work on moving. People with Parkinson's disease, the body is not doing what the brain is telling it to do. Doesn't mean you can't dance. Pam, welcome to the program.
Hi, thank you for having me.
You look fantabulous.
Thank you.
Quick little background on, I know all about Pam. I've known her for a long time, but a quick little background for our viewers on you, Pam, and your Kuntz & Company business.
Well, I'm a dancer and a choreographer and a teacher, and I like to choreograph works with the community alongside of professional dancers. And so that's the work that I do with my dance company, Kuntz & Company. And when I made a piece about somebody living with Parkinson's and somebody living with MS, an audience member at the Q&A asked a lot of really great questions, and we became friends. And this audience member's name is Rick Herman, and he and I, over a course of about 6 months in friendship and working together on various projects, decided it would be fun to start a dance class for people with Parkinson's. And so that's how the class came to be from my work with Kuntz & Company.
So you and Rick came up with this together for the most part? I mean, this is an original, this didn't really exist before, right?
Well, it did, but we didn't know it. So we did come up with it together. He was in a piece after the original piece about Parkinson's and MS. Rick and I became friends, and then I asked him if he would be in a different piece. And so he was, and when we were working on that piece, he was exploring his favorite music with movement, and we both just noticed that he was, it was like his symptoms had faded away for the time period when he was dancing. And we were both a little bit surprised and excited by that. So over time, we talked about what that meant and why. And then that's when we came up with, well, let's offer a class in our community. So he worked on the publicity end of things and getting participants to join the class. And I worked on the research end of things. So I teach contemporary technique and ballet. And I'm not a therapist or a doctor or anything. I teach dance. And so I needed to learn what this could be. And in my research, I discovered that this had been going on for quite some time in New York City. David Leventhal is the gentleman who started a program with the Mark Morris Dance Group, where he started teaching people with Parkinson's, maybe it was about 10 years before Rick and I had our idea. So I immediately called David. And David is the reason I'm coming to Wenatchee now. So it was going on elsewhere, and it's just continuing to grow now.
How does one put together a dance? It's not a recital. It's not even a program. It's basically, it's dancing with people who have a hard time controlling their own movements. That must have been a terrible challenge to figure out. Okay, how do I make this work?
Yeah, well, it was at first. It was just different. It ended up being very much like any of my other classes. It was what's my goal with the class, for the class? What are the ideas we're going to be exploring that day? And then create work that is both challenging and furthers the goal and also offers an opportunity for success. So it's really the same for any technique class I'm teaching. The main difference is a lot of the work is seated. The primary goal in my class is that we have a really good time. And I would say if you were to interview my university students, that might not be my goal every day, although it's there. So to make sure that it's really fun and that there's success by the end of class, people who are new to dance or who are having a rough day, whether it's because they're off their meds, if you're a Parkinson's person and if you're off during class, or if there are people who take my class with MS or have had a stroke, if there's a particularly difficult day, to read the room and find out how much I might want to pull back on that day so that people walk out feeling better than when they walked in. That's a big job of mine. So you've been doing this for what, about 15 years now, this particular class, is that right? We started in 2011, so 13.
So have you tweaked the program a little bit? Have you realized along the way that maybe these kinds of moves might not be suitable and this is better? How much adjusting have you done along the way?
Yeah, I have. Yes, there's been adjustments. I would say at about year 5, I started to get really engaged with the idea that I was going to fix people. And there was
By
about
the way, Pam, that hasn't changed yet.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Well, so my classes stopped being fun for that. It was about a year and a half, and I didn't recognize it at first, but attendance dwindled. And I know Rick and I were friends all the way, and he talked to me a little bit about it. And so there was that moment of I was just approaching the work with the wrong intention. There's no fixing going on in what I'm doing. There's progress and the attempts to fix or help in other areas in people's lives with neurological disorders. But in this dance class, that's not the job. So that was a big learning curve for me. Let's see, I know that I used to have people travel across the floor a lot in my class. And right now, the population of people who take my class aren't people who are comfortable traveling across the floor. So it really is participant dependent. Another thing, it depends on the space where the class is taught. So right now I'm teaching in this really beautiful space called the Firehouse Arts and Event Center in Bellingham, and it's just glorious. But the chairs we use are really heavy. I mean, they're really heavy. So to ask the participants to be moving these chairs around the room is difficult. So it's minor things like that. It's paying attention to the space, paying attention to who the people are in the room and what they're needing in that moment. And that's how the class has evolved over time, with joy staying at the top.
There is, of course, a national foundation, a Parkinson's Disease Foundation, that is trying to eradicate. Nobody really knows the cause of Parkinson's. There is no cure. What have you heard from the officials who are from what you're doing? As the Parkinson's Foundation folks signed off on this, do they like what they see? Yeah.
There's quite a bit of research that's been done with regards to the benefits of dancing for people with Parkinson's. And it's all coming back and rooted in movement, continuing to move. And so the Mark Morris Dance Group, Parkinson's group, is called Dance for PD. And they have spearheaded many research projects with physicians and neurologists. And there are other studies related to movement and Parkinson's that all back the importance of this kind of activity for somebody, if it's what works for that person. The Northwest Parkinson's Foundation is a sponsor of my class. There's another foundation that has sponsored it in the past. And then there are local foundations that have helped as well. But as far as the official Parkinson's folks, they're on board, as is the Michael J. Fox Foundation. There's a lot of work there as well.
Dance, by definition, means music. I'm assuming there's some sort of rhythmic undertow as this class progresses. Does it start out quiet and get a little more intense over the course of the class?
Well, it depends on the day and our mood. Sometimes we just jump right in and go crazy, but it can have a slow in, or we can just get started. But with the more vigorous work, yes, rhythm, repetitive patterns is a big component in class, and what the sound in the room is remarkably important. So right now, I am so fortunate to have an accompanist play for my class, and I've had that fortune for 12 of the 13 years, and it's really great. So the accompanist right now is Eric Chappelle. He won't be able to come to Wenatchee with me, unfortunately, but he plays the electric violin, and I can turn to him and say, I need a sassy 3/4 song that says sunshine and grass. And then he gives us the exact tempo and the exact quality that we need. Otherwise, I choose music that seems to be in the wheelhouse of the people in the room, the age, what their music might be.
You sent me a video. Let's go ahead. This isn't very long. It's just a little over a minute. Give people a general idea what to expect on Saturday, the 1st of March. By the way, at the Wenatchee Rec Athletic Club, we'll get you all those details in just a little bit. But let's take about 75 seconds and show the video that Pam sent me. So that's a general idea of what folks are in for if they want to sign up on for the deal on March 1st at the Wenatchee Racquet and Athletic Club. You did this here in town about 8-9 years ago, is that right?
Yeah.
So obviously it went well enough for you to come back.
It did. So yeah, the reason I'm coming back, when I did it back then, there was a great turnout. There were a lot of people in the room, and there were a few folks in the room who talked about wanting to teach possibly. And back then I wasn't as connected with David as I am now, David at the Dance for PD organization, with regards to recruiting teachers. And so now that relationship has shifted, and I'm working with David to help create a broader reach of Dance for PD in our state. And so we had a meeting. There were about 5 of us in the state here with David talking about how we could help spread this work. And I said, well, I have a connection to Wenatchee and I could get a class there. And so the hope is that I can tap into the Parkinson's community, and I can tap into the physical therapist, occupational therapist, personal trainer, yoga teacher, dance teacher, people in the community who might be interested in adding this to their work portfolio. It's a amazing experience to get to teach this dance class. And if you like to work with people in a physical, creative way, this is an outstanding opportunity for somebody to take. So what will happen on Saturday is I will teach the class, and then afterwards there'll be about a half-hour conversation with the folks who are interested in learning more about becoming a teacher. And then from there, I'll connect them with David, and David will help connect them with the training and the certification, and it will all be paid for. So hopefully in maybe 6 months, there will be a Dance for PD teacher in Wenatchee teaching dance.
It is Saturday, March 1st at the Wenatchee Racquet and Athletic Club. I think you just answered the number one question. How much does it cost? We'd like that. How do people get signed up? How do they go about saying, I'm in, or I want my husband or wife or grandpa to participate in this because I think he can get something out of it? How do they go about being there and signing up and all that good stuff?
Yeah. So on the flyer that's been posted a few different places at the Racquetball Club and the Senior Center and the Parkinson's support groups, there's a QR code that will help people get to the right website. And at the end of that promo video, there's a QR code. And then the website is my name, Kuntz, our name, Dan, kuntzandco.org. And the word "and" is spelled out. Now, if you end up at a mechanic's office, that is not the dance company. Those mechanics are over east somewhere. So I've been threatening to do a dance piece with them someday, but I'm the Kuntz & Co. in Bellingham, the dance company. And that's where folks can pre-register for the class or just show up. And if it's not too crowded, people can join. And I really want to stress that this is a class that is developed so that everybody can do it. And if people say, I've never danced, I can't do this, this is exactly the class. It's built for everybody.
And if you watch the video, you'll notice that a lot of the people at the conclusion of the class they got smiles on their face. You must get a pretty good feeling after going through this with these folks to see the smiles on their faces.
I do. It's amazing. I love it. I love it.
Again, it is Kuntz & Company, K-U-N-T-Z. The other Kuntz Company, they make outstanding automobile parts for race car drivers. They don't dance, nothing like Pamela dances. Again, at the Wenatchee Racquet and Athletic Club on Saturday, March 1st. Register by going to the QR code. And you're asking people to register in advance just so you have a general idea of how many people you can expect. Is that about right?
Yeah.
But again, as long as you can, if it's not sold out, you can just show up and participate as well. Pamela, it's always good to see you.
Good to see you too, Dan.
Love you as always. Say hi to the kids. And by the way, you have to fix the typo on your bio here. It says beyond dancing in and with the community, Pam is most happy hanging out with her family and dreamboat husband Mark. Who wrote that?
That's accurate, Dan. He is a dreamboat.
I will see you on Saturday the 1st. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Thank you, Dan.
Love you,
Bye.
Pam.
Love you.
See ya.
Between juggling groceries, preparing meals, and lending a helping hand, you're a hero without a cape. But who's there to support you? Aging and Adult Care honors caregivers like you, the relatives, friends, and neighbors, helping loved ones remain safely at home. Aging and Adult Care offers chore services, respite, personal care, and more. Serving Chelan, Douglas, Grant, Lincoln, Adams, and Okanagan counties, call Aging and Adult Care at 1-800-572-4459 for caregiver support.
Central Washington Water is your solution for problem water. Whether you're on a well or municipal water, they can design a clean water system custom to you. Soft water eliminates water spots and scaling on fixtures. It protects appliances from hard water damage, saving you money. Soft water reduces soap usage that causes skin irritation and is a healthier choice to drink. Call for a free in-home consultation or stop by the store to have your water tested. Central Washington Water, your best water solution for home, pool, and spa.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
At Kennedy Group, we understand that buying and selling is more than a transaction, and it's more than just a house. This is where you will gather with friends and family, and where a lifetime of memories will be made. But buying a home is more than memories. Oftentimes, it's your biggest financial decision. The agents at Kennedy Group understand this and provide real estate advice based on your goals and dreams. Call us today, and let's find your happy place.
All right, well, we were airing the interview. I had a chance to go into the archives, the National Weather Service. I was curious because early next week, we're supposed to get to 50 degrees. We're in for a very wet and mild weekend, but I got curious. When was the last time we got to 50 degrees in the Wenatchee Valley? It was November 15th, so it was almost, what, 3 months ago? Is that right? The last time we got to 50 degrees. We're going to get to 50 degrees eventually, but we're going to have to deal with the snow today. It's snowing a little more intensely than it was about an hour ago when this show started, but the snow should be tapering off in the early afternoon hours. May switch over to a little bit of a light rain mix at times, and then it will be gone altogether by the end of the day. And then the warm-up begins from the National Weather Service. Here we go. Here's your forecast. Again, still have that winter weather advisory. It is running until 4 o'clock this afternoon. Widespread snow, some rain in some locations. Snow totals depends entirely where you live here on the valley floor. 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches. Up in the canyons and the upper elevations, upwards of 4 inches. It ain't going to stick around very long, though. We'll top off at 35 because we're going to get to 43 with partly sunny skies on Thursday. We cloud up. On Friday, it'll be dry starting in the wee small hours Friday night into Saturday. Here comes the rain, and it's going to rain on Saturday. It's going to rain on Saturday night. It's going to rain on Sunday. It's going to rain on Sunday night. Chance of rain on Monday as well with some pretty mild temperatures. So it's been a cold February. That will change quite soon. That's it for us. Have a good and safe Wednesday. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.